All right, get ready because today we're going deep on something fun.
Oh, yeah.
Guilty pleasures.
Ooh, I like it.
We're peeking into this Reddit thread asking, what's a guilty pleasure you'll never give up and why? Wow, people get honest.
It's kind of wild, right? Like, you really see that vulnerability,
Yeah.
confessing stuff they might not tell anyone
Yeah,
else.
it's like, what is it about the internet that makes people spill their secrets?
Right.
But okay, the variety is amazing. Food is huge, obviously.
Of course, gotta have the snacks.
Someone said Americanized Chinese takeout, like specifically General Tso's and crab rangoons.
Oh, man, those cream cheese-filled rangoons.
So good, who can resist? But it's not just the taste, though, is
No way, it's the nostalgia. Comfort food takes you back, you know? Simpler times.
Totally. And speaking of simpler times, childhood shows and music came up a lot, too.
Makes sense.
Someone even said they still watch Bob Ross, Mr. Rogers, even Dragon Tales.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's like, these shows, they still give comfort, even to grown-ups.
Yeah, the world gets so hectic, it's like a retreat to when things were easier, you know?
Familiar, safe.
Exactly.
And it's funny, some guilty pleasures, they're not just for kids anymore.
Oh, for sure.
Someone else mentioned Avatar, The Last Airbender. Why do you think that one appeals to everyone?
Well, Avatar is interesting. It's not just a kids' show. The story is actually really well done.
It's true.
Complex characters, themes that make you think. So maybe it's more than just a guilty pleasure for a lot of people.
That's a good point. But then some responses are a little more out there, shall we say.
Yeah. Like what?
Like drinking heavy cream. Or let's just say some bathroom habits we don't need to discuss.
Okay, that takes it to a different level.
Makes you wonder, where's the line? When does something go from a little indulgence to something maybe you should think about more?
Right. The guilt in guilty pleasure, it really varies.
Big time.
Yeah.
Some people are all about owning their quirks, but some seem to really struggle with it.
It's true. So what even makes something guilty anyway? Is it just what society says? Or is it more than that?
Yeah, is it just that we're told we should feel bad?
Or is it something deeper?
That's what we're trying to figure out here. What do you think makes something a guilty pleasure?
It's a good question. Tell us in the comments.
And hey, while you're at it, like and subscribe to Voices of the Soul on YouTube. We're Shauna Palaj.
And we'll be right back to dive deeper into this. It's like there's this, I don't know, a hierarchy of guilty pleasures.
Oh, yeah.
Like some are more acceptable than others.
I see what you think.
On one end, it's cheesy pop music or reality TV. Everyone likes it, but it's kind of lowbrow.
Yeah, it's like we're supposed to be all sophisticated all the time.
Right. But sometimes you just need to turn your brain off, you know?
Absolutely. Just pure entertainment, no judgment.
Exactly. And it's good for you, stress relief, feeling good, even bonding with people over the same stuff.
Oh, totally. Like, I'll admit it, I love those cheesy rom-coms.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You know, the ones where you know exactly what's going to happen, but it's just so comforting.
The predictability is nice, right?
Yeah.
Especially when the world feels so crazy.
For sure. But then there are the guilty pleasures that come with, like, inner conflict.
Oh, that's interesting.
Someone said they love naps, but they feel bad because they should be doing more.
Oh, that should word.
Right. Or, like, enjoying coffee in the morning when everyone else is asleep,
Quiet time.
but feeling guilty for having me time.
It's that hustle culture mentality. Always gotta be productive, always gotta be on.
It's exhausting.
It is. So is it society making us feel guilty, or is it just us?
Our own expectations, you mean?
Yeah, like are we letting those shoulds rule our lives?
It's probably both, honestly.
But it's important to ask why we feel guilty, Radley. Is it actually hurting anyone? Or is it just breaking some made-up rule?
Good point. Maybe some guilty pleasures are actually self-care.
Exactly. Rest, joy, just being in the moment, that's important too. But then there's the stuff that's, well, kind of ethically questionable.
You mean like that person who said they like watching street fights?
Yeah. I mean, I'll admit, those pimple-popping videos, they're kind of gross, but I can't look away.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Why are we like this?
It's the taboo, the darkness. Humans are curious, you know? We want to explore the weird stuff.
Makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
even evolutionarily, maybe our ancestors had to be aware of danger, so we're still fascinated by it.
It'd be. It's like a safe way to get an adrenaline rush.
A little controlled chaos.
Totally. Escape from our own problems by watching something totally different.
Explore those feelings we wouldn't want in real life, but it's okay because it's not real.
Exactly. But then you have those responses that are just so straightforward.
What do you mean?
Like someone just said their guilty pleasure is cranking it. No explanation, no shame.
Oh, Okay, fair enough.
And it's kind of refreshing, you know, just being honest with yourself.
Totally. In the end, who are we to judge what makes someone else happy, as long as it's not hurting anyone?
Yeah. Right. Pleasure is part of being human in all its forms. So why do we feel the need to label it guilty anyway?
It's a good question.
Maybe it's to fit in with the society. Like, I know the rules, but I'm breaking them just a little bit.
Or maybe it's just fun to share secrets, find people who get it.
Yeah, that shared human experience, even the weird parts.
It's definitely complicated, but one thing's for sure,
Huh.
everyone has guilty pleasures.
Oh, absolutely. We all have them in some way or another.
And maybe instead of feeling bad, we should just accept it.
Embrace those quirks. It's part of being human.
And it's okay to enjoy things, even if they're not perfect or acceptable all the time.
Maybe that's what we should take away from all this.
Be kinder to ourselves and others.
Yeah, everyone's got their thing, and that's okay. Before we move on, I want to remind everyone to subscribe and like Voices of the Soul on YouTube.
We're Shauna Palaj, and we really appreciate you listening. Stay tuned for the last part of our deep dive. We've got some more juicy guilty pleasures to unpack. It's the little details that get me, you know? They make it so relatable.
Yeah.
Like, one person loves watching those pimple-popping videos. Another's all about those lazy mornings in bed, once a month at least, all cozy under the covers.
It's like you get this peek into their lives, right? Makes you realize everyone has their own little quirks.
Totally. And it's not always big stuff either.
True.
Ice-cold root beer, coffee, and the newspaper before everyone's up.
Simple things, but they make you happy.
Exactly. But it also makes you wonder, what guilty pleasures are people not sharing?
Oh, interesting. The ones too personal? Maybe even embarrassing.
Yeah, even anonymously, there's still stuff we keep hidden.
It makes you think, what does that say about us, you know? That we can't even be totally open online.
Maybe it's fear of judgment. Like, what if people think I'm weird?
Could be. Or maybe it's just protecting ourselves, keeping those really personal things safe.
Probably both, honestly. But it shows how important it is to have spaces where people can just be themselves, no judgment.
Where it's okay to be vulnerable, to share those things without feeling ashamed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the biggest takeaway from all this, from these guilty pleasures.
What do you mean?
It's not about judging or putting things in boxes. It's about understanding, celebrating all the different ways people experience joy.
Everyone has their own thing.
Exactly. And that's okay. It's part of what makes us human.
It's about embracing that, the diversity of human experience.
Finding joy in unexpected places. We all have those quirks, those indulgences, those secret little things that make us happy.
And that's a good thing.
It really is. So as you go about your day, remember that, for yourself and for others.
Be kind, be understanding.
Embrace those guilty pleasures, whatever they are, because those little moments of joy, they matter.
They make us who we are.
That's something worth celebrating. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into guilty pleasures.
We hope you got something out of it.
Maybe even a little permission to enjoy those things you love. No guilt attached.
And if you like this episode, don't forget to subscribe to Voices of the Soul on YouTube and give us a like.
We're Shauna Palaj, and we're so glad you're here with us. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, keep embracing the beautiful complexity of being human.